I went to the largest anti-ICE protest in New York City, and it ended up with paid protesters following me home.
Quarter mile out of the protest now, and she's still following us.
Lately at these protests, they've been chanting to hang the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Are these extreme calls actually what protesters believe, or are they slogans being pushed by the NGOs funding and organizing these rallies?
Can you tell me, what do you teach at Columbia?
This video was very difficult to make. Most of these protesters did not want to talk.
Don't talk to this guy!
Especially ones that had signs like this. What you're about to see is what these protesters truly stand for.
Basically a Nuremberg trial 2.0.
Shut down society to force any politicians to do what we want.
Welcome back to the Nate Friedman Show.
All right, so we are at an anti-ICE rally right now. We see some counter-protesters with a big Trump flag right now. We're going to see what these anti-ICE protesters really want. What do they think of that recent footage that's come out? Let's do this.
I'm here with Socialist Alternative, and we're a socialist organization. We're actually an international socialist organization. And here in the United States, we're fighting against Trump and Trump's attacks on working class people.
And would you say that you're with the anti-ICE protests today, or you're just tabling here?
Yeah, absolutely. We're an independent organization, but we're here in support of anti-ICE protesters, anti-war protesters, anti-imperialist protesters, and everybody who wants to come out and fight against Trump's attacks.
There was a chant that said, "Hang Kristi Noem." Some folks saying like, oh, we didn't actually mean that. What do you think about that chant? Do you support it, or are you against it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I can understand why people are pissed at Kristi Noem. She's horrible. I have no sympathy for her.
Sure.
But I don't think it's the most productive chant because I don't think it points toward what we actually need to do to change society, right? Like, we've seen, assassination attempts on Trump. We saw that United Healthcare CEO, we saw him get, shot and killed. But nothing has changed in society, right? And so we think that, moves like that are not actually what's going to be needed because the capitalist class will just replace those people with people, the next person in line, right? Kristi Noem will be replaced by another right-winger who, wants to send ICE into our communities.
Are you saying that assassination is wrong because nothing will change, or assassination is wrong because it's breaking the law? Like, do you see them together, or?
I mean, I think that assassinating an individual, whatever. I don't want to come out here and kill people. If we're asking about, should we be assassinating people because that's breaking the law? Well, they're already assassinating us and calling it lawful. So, but again, to me, I don't think that individual acts of violence or terrorism are actually effective to change society. We need to be organized on a mass scale. So what we really need is actually a mobilization that's organized, that goes beyond the individual politicians, and that can actually shut down society to force any politicians to do what we want.
This is a sword through Trump's head, right? Just to...
It's a suicide king.
Suicide.
Correct.
Gotcha. Is this something that you'd like to see?
And destruction is astounding. Don't despair. God help America through this nightmare.
So I recognize this guy singing. He's at almost every one of the protests I've been to. Meet J. Wilson Walker. He likes to cheer on protesters blocking ICE with trash cans and go up to ICE agents calling them garbage.
You're garbage! You're garbage! Sticking up for Nazi Gestapo!
Jay calls me a Nazi on his social media, referring to me as Nate, the Jewish Nazi. Jay is a professional protester, often leading the chants. He refers to himself as a black, gay, 50-something activist, and then lists all the organizations he protests for. He ran out of protest orgs to work for, so he made his own called the Queer Liberation March. Over time, he's embedded himself across a long list of activist groups, including Rise and Resist, Gays Against Guns, where he's the president, and Hands Off. And there he is with Julie, and we'll get to her again later in this video. At the same time, Walker accepts money through Venmo and PayPal under his personal handles to keep his protesting well-funded. In a Facebook post, Walker reacts angrily and says, "F the Yankees for memorializing Charlie Kirk's death," referring to him as a dead Klansman, then pivots to talking about having chicken marsala for dinner the day that he got shot. Lastly, here he depicts Kristi Noem as a Nazi soldier, and his most disturbing post yet looks like this, an image depicting President Trump's bloody head being pulled by Miss Piggy, and under federal law, it is illegal to threaten the United States president on social media.
They all look like pigs to me. NYPD, ICE.
I noticed the hammer and sickle on your hat. Are you a communist?
Not really. I suppose I would assume I would say that I'm a democratic socialist.
Okay.
I am initially from Moscow, Russia. I was born in the Soviet Union
Gotcha.
in 1986. And while I do not advocate to bring communism back or to resurrect the Soviet Union,
Yes.
I believe certain aspects of socialism do need to be a part of modern society.
So can you tell me what your sign says and exactly? Yeah.
My sign says is a message to the ICE agents saying, "Dear ICE agents, ask Schwarzenegger how former Nazis lived in his 50s and 60s. You're in for a bleak future once the orange dipshit is gone."
Gotcha.
The reason why I'm writing this is because Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was born in Europe in the 1940s, grew up among Nazis who have suffered loss. And he describes them as miserable, scared people who spend their life sad and terrified that will be held accountable. I believe currently ICE agents are headed for the exact same future.
And what are the parallels that you see between ICE agents and Nazis? How are they alike?
How do I like? Of course, obviously, racial bigotry, overwhelming force, hiding behind masks, charismatic leader that supports them.
Gotcha. So I know I've heard from some folks about they're not Nazis because Nazis killed Jews and black people and anyone who was not Aryan. Like, what do you say to those people?
There's plenty of the exact same stuff going on in the United States from cops and hate groups. There's plenty of murder based on hatred from both Nazis and modern day police forces and armed groups.
Yeah.
My whole parallel with comparison to Nazis is that we should have basically a Nuremberg trial 2.0.
Can I ask you a question? I'm an independent journalist.
No, I'm fine. Nope.
That was pretty quick, no?
Yeah, no. The answer's no.
I gotcha. I'm just outside though on the public street. What is the plan for the protest today?
No.
Okay, so these guys work with Rise and Resist. Where's the troll sign? Can we get that out?
And we're gonna open this up.
Hey, what is the plan for today? Yeah, I mean, you followed me the whole time, so now I'm asking you a question.
No, I know exactly who he is.
You remember Matt. He volunteered to do security for me at the Trump Tower protests. He followed me and stopped every one of my interviews that he possibly could.
Ma'am, just want to let you know he's a right-wing YouTuber.
Oh, this
generate.
And after I exposed him, he's not too chatty anymore and wanted to go in the opposite direction. He blocked ICE from getting out of a detention facility. He's a professional protester that obsesses over trans kids and simultaneously works with youth.
And now he's not in a chatty mood.
This protest is about to heat up a lot.
Multiple paid protesters following me home right now.
But first, are you worrying about those upcoming credit card bills after the holidays? If you're a homeowner, there's no better time than now to call American Financing and wipe out that debt. Eliminate the stress and set yourself up for a strong 2026. The Fed dropped rates for the 4th time in December. American Financing can help you access that equity in your home at an interest rate in the low 5s. You heard that right, in the low 5s. That is a much lower rate than the average 20% or more credit card rate. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise to start the new year. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to see how much you can save. And they are closing some in as fast as 10 days and even delaying 2 mortgage payments. American Financing, America's home for home loans. Call today at 866-890-4844. That's 866-890-4844. Or go to americanfinancing.net/Nate. And now back to the protest.
This depicts Trump as Hitler, right?
Oh yeah, it was stolen from a London protest from 2015.
This is from 2015?
Yes.
What do you think makes Trump Hitler? What do you think makes him like Hitler?
Well, we've got the camps, we've got the attack on education, we have the attacks on the banks, we have the attacks on pretty much everything that Hitler did. I prefer listening to historians who studied this period because there's boxes that have been checked.
Do you feel that Trump is more of a 1930s Hitler guy or a 40s?
Oh, no. We had that America First who tried to depose or planned with FDR. They're the same industrialist and stuff as always.
Yeah.
But this is a little more modern twist because it's also like Russia, where it's the oligarchs.
Okay.
Because look at the people he has in his cabinet.
Yeah.
Look at the people he meets with, the billionaires.
And when you say camps, are you referring to the ICE detention centers?
I'm talking about the one in Florida.
In Florida.
And I'm talking about any of the detention centers.
Are you talking about like Alligator Alcatraz?
Alligator Alcatraz.
Do you feel that there are parallels between Alligator Alcatraz and Auschwitz?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the conditions were so bad
Yeah.
It's just like the detention centers now. People are being, well, from what I understand, beaten and not fed and not medical care. They're being treated and subhuman in these ICE centers.
When we hear that ICE is like, well, we're giving them the option to come back and there's air conditioning, do you think that they're lying about that? Okay. So do you think that
this whole administration is
So do you think that they're killing them inside those areas?
I don't.
I
don't know that they're actually, well...
Because I got some message from somebody like yourself who's saying basically like, they're killing people in Auschwitz, they're killing people in there. So do you think that they're similar in that way?
I don't know that it's as organized as that yet.
Okay. But it's coming? You think?
Possible, because they've already talked about other camps. There's a Texas rancher who offered space to put up another camp on his ranch.
Yeah.
This is about racism. It's the two original sins of this country.
Yeah.
The genocide of the native people and slavery.
Gotcha.
And we've never dealt with either one of those, and we're still dealing with it now.
Gotcha. And last question, given that this is an anti-ICE protest, have you seen like the latest footage coming out
Renee?
Of Renee? Yeah. So I wanted to ask people, what do they think about her blocking the traffic and dancing before this happened? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Protest. That is a First Amendment right.
BC Craig, can I ask you what you're teaching at Columbia as you're at every one of these protests? What are you teaching the kids? Can you tell me, what do you teach at Columbia? She's at just about every single one of these protests, and she's teaching America's children.
Tape. You need tape?
That's Jamie, paid protester. We know Jamie well.
We have two identifiable right-wing journalists here. Please do not engage with them.
Jamie is a non-binary transgender professional protester who likes to spend our tax dollars getting arrested at protests. She supports drag storytellers alongside Jenny, who is also at this very protest. Jamie's been at over 100 protests and can be seen here giving training to other protesters.
My name is Jamie Bauer. I work with Rise and Resist.
Now, this training is a part of a full set of videos dedicated to instruct protesters on how to marshal a protest.
The rule of blocking traffic is that the easiest way to block traffic is to wait till the light is red. And again, you don't get out of the street if the light is green, because you don't want the traffic to try to make that light.
Yes, good work.
Now, I did a little more digging, and Rise and Resist, the company she protests for, have actually had 2 meetings about me. They publish their meeting minutes online, and in meeting 1, you can see that they call me a right-wing troll. They had, quote, discussion around suing me, issuing a statement, pitching news stories, and otherwise countering his charges versus giving him no attention at all. Inconclusive, but leaning hard towards starving him of oxygen. Apparently, I've thrown such a big wrench in their operations that they had to continue discussion the next week. We determined what would trigger contact with an attorney would be if we got a subpoena. We asked Richard, lawyer, about the possibility of representing about doxing, and he was not interested because it fell firmly under First Amendment rights and would be difficult. They then instruct their protesters to wear dark glasses and masks. It also seems that they've given up on the kazoo tactic and should stick with just chanting, which according to them is harder to get rid of in video editing software. So this is no longer the most effective strategy.
And he just wants rounding them up, round up 3,000 people a day, round them up, round them.
What makes you put out this sign today?
What makes this?
Yeah.
Because it's true. ICE is a domestic terrorist.
Do you feel that there are some similarities between ICE and Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations?
I haven't really thought about that. I think that there's the similarities I see with ICE in the United States are they are a militaristic army that has terrorized people.
Gotcha.
There are groups in Africa and like ISIS and whatever that are similar.
For sure.
So similar to the KKK. And other.
What do you think is the solution? Should we abolish ICE?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think?
Don't talk to this guy. He's
Karen, it's good to see you. Elon just posted you. Congratulations.
Karen Shaw, maybe out of all the paid protesters, you know her the best by now. Just an hour before this protest, Elon Musk just happened to post my reporting on Karen. It reads, same professional protester found at 100 different protests, and now has amassed over 16 million views. Now, Karen's Threads bio reads, F MAGA and ICE, abortion forever, and mentions the Soros-funded Rise and Resist, who claims to be non-violent, but yet is known for getting its members arrested, including Karen twice, and is responsible for the Tesla takedown protest protests in New York City last March. She says she hates everyone who voted for Trump, while she portrays Trump voters as KKK members, rapists, and Nazis.
That's Karen.
Remember Gaza, remember Vietnam.
So you're saying dump Zoran and all the Democrats?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think that Zoran is not a good defender of the Free Palestine movement?
Absolutely not. Look, he's made his verbal protest.
Yeah.
But in fact, the person that he appointed as head of the police was the same, was Tish.
Yeah.
The same Zionist billionaire cop who was responsible for brutalizing anti-Palestine protesters, jailing anti-Palestine protesters, doing everything they could to crush the movement, and he's being a good Democrat.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
But I feel like Mamdani's so good because he started the Student Justice for Palestine chapter at his college. Do you think that he's like, he doesn't feel that way anymore? Or?
What he feels, I can't say.
Okay.
What he does, I can comment on.
Yeah.
He is being a good representative of the other party of American imperialism, the Democrats.
Okay.
And in doing so, he has given the highest repressive office to the main cop responsible for crushing Palestinian demonstrators.
Gotcha. Okay,
and
so does he...
will not just be about Palestine either.
Yeah. My name is Nate Friedman. I am a YouTuber.
Sorry?
I'm a YouTuber. My name is Nate Friedman.
I didn't hear what press you're from. I'm sorry.
He's a YouTube
Here's my press pass. You have to go? Is the protest starting?
Pretty soon.
Okay, I want to ask you, do you think we should abolish ICE? We have one more question. Do you think we should abolish ICE?
I think it's up to the working class to come out and act against ICE.
Gotcha.
ICE needs to not exist, but it's not a matter of getting Zoran to abolish ICE.
Nathan.
Julie, how you doing?
Nathan, what's up?
Yeah, she's very
Wait, you have to be...
So,
excuse me.
Let's have an interview, right? A normal one. Can we do a standard interview?
Julie DeLauer, a professional protester who exhibits symptoms of stage 4 TDS, which forces you to change your last name to No Kings on Facebook. If you missed your train because of one of those Grand Central Station protests, you can thank Julie and the other organizers for that. Arrests have become a reoccurring feature of Julie's activism. She is often detained for blocking roads or trespassing, and each arrest appears staged for maximum visibility, shouting, posing, and performing as the cameras roll. Check out this video titled "I Exposed a Paid Protester Working with a Senator" if you want to know more about Julie and the funding behind Rise and Resist. So on my way out of the protest, my security informed me that Julie was following us out of the protest. Now, I've seen that tactic from them in the past, but never more than a block or so, and then they turn away. This was very different.
Multiple paid protesters following me home right now. Okay, so Julie has now followed us into the park. We must be quarter mile out of the protest now, and she's still following us.
Now, I was taking the train home from the other side of the park, and 10 minutes later, they were still following me. They seemed to have a very little meeting with one another and decided to give up after my security stared them down. But who knows what would have happened if we didn't notice this and they shared my address. Thank you guys for watching this episode of The Nate Friedman Show. If you guys want to know what a protest looks like when it's not paid for, check out my coverage of the Free Iran protests where I ask Iranians in New York what they want President Trump to do. And I'll see you there.